Right now, we're hanging out with the one and only Slick Rick, the ruler. First of all, man, I gotta ask you, how you doing these days?
Oh, so far so good, brother. You know, put on a couple pounds. I gotta get back on the diet, but you know, other than that, I'll be alright.
Now, you know, I always had to ask you this, man, because you are the father of the bling. And I want to know, with the bling that you have on, how does it stack up with today's bling that the people wear? I mean, are they blinging it correctly, or do they need to get some
correctly?
Yeah.
Well, there was an era where I had to keep up. You know what I mean? We went from the big gold, the rope chains and stuff, and then they changed to platinum on me. You know what I mean? So I had to keep up for a minute, and then everything went slowed down. Everybody's like normal now. You know?
Right.
So if it's about jewelry, you know, I say keep getting bigger and more blingier. You know what I mean?
So are you happy with the bling that you see? T-Pain had a big giant thing the other day. You know, Lil Wayne is trying to do stuff.
Right.
But I mean, you know, I'm just trying to make sure that it's not too gaudy.
Right.
If it doesn't meet your specifications.
The plate was alright, but the chain was kind of corny.
Really?
Yeah.
What makes a good bling these days?
A good bling, it gotta have swagger, it gotta have style, it has to have sex appeal. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. You can learn, you know, each one teach one. You learn from your ancestors, your elders, you know, the cats from the 70s,
right,
80s, you know, our elders, you know, like the old James Brown days and all these different cats. Even Prince can teach you something, you know what I mean, about style. So it's all about style and sex appeal.
Now, just looking at this, what would you explain to those who are trying to come up with the pieces that you have on? What advice would you give them?
I would say, you know, to be original. Make sure it has sex appeal first of all.
Okay.
And then, you know, be original, and you know.
You have the different shapes on there.
Yeah. You know,
pyramids.
You know, all this has
yin yang stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, black for the pyramid. You know, Egypt pyramid. You know, just so you don't feel like, you know, some guy with a bone in your nose all day.
Right.
You know what I mean, and you know, this is the marriage symbol. That's two hearts in this thing right here. So it's a marriage. And you know the yin yang, which you know, that's like karma and the whole.
And this is original because it has symmetry and everything. You don't. This is a one of a kind piece.
Right. So I made it myself. It has meaning too, you know. So, and then, you know, just keep getting bigger and more fancy and have more sex appeal, you know.
And then my last question, you know, they also consider you the one of the best storytellers when it comes to hip hop. A lot of people ain't telling good stories. What would you tell them? You know, how can people step their storytelling game up in this rap thing?
Well, I would say it's like when you're in high school and you're in your English class, you know what I mean? And they get you reading, like, I don't know, maybe Hamlet, Shakespeare stuff, or whatever intrigues you, and you just turn it into stories. I wouldn't say to go to the Hamlet route, because it really is not going to intrigue you anymore, because it's kind of old and outdated.
Right.
Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him well. All that old stuff that you told, you know, so like just stories, period. Like if you watch Training Day, Paid in Full, Godfather, whatever, you take these stories and you formulate them into rap form, and you know, do a little twist here and change.
So they have to immerse themselves in stories.
Stories is beautiful, you know. Make sure the music is up to par. It's all about meat and potatoes now. It used to be about that, but we started to slack up again. You know, we went from James Brown, and then we chopped his stuff up to meat and potatoes.
Right.
Which is what Public Enemy and everybody did. Mm-hmm. Kane, everybody, we all did it. Rakim, all of us, we took it, you know. So today we've gotten a little too love songy and lost our grit, our Negro concrete grit. So I say you need to get back to meat and potatoes on the music, mm-hmm. and then add your story to the
put some funk in it, in other words.
Exactly.
I hear that, man. Well, Slick Rick, man, you are still the ruler.
Thank you.
You know, anybody on the horizon that might be able to get on your throne when it's time for you to give up the crown, or will you give up the crown?
But right now, you can already tell who's holding like top spots. Jay-Z's still holding top spot, and Kanye West is still holding top spot, and Lil Wayne. So whatever you got to do to mold those three, and if you can bring back, you know, Eminem, and you know, Eminem could have did it for the whole world. You know, he could have been a pulpit to the world. Mm-hmm. Could have, you know, divulged into certain issues like politics, and could have helped America a lot. The troops over here, there, whatever places. You know, all it takes is the right person to stand in front of the pulpit, and they could, you know, bring about world peace and, you know, fix little diseases and, you know,
they can inspire people.
Minute nonsense, exactly, because we all are on the same page. There's just not nobody in front of that pulpit,
right?
Say what we need to say, so everybody can do their job. You know what I mean? Like presidents could do their job, and, you know, Hillary could do her job instead of having to deal with a lot of, you know, bullshit.
Well, you know, Slick Rick, we appreciate it, man. Thank you very much, and we're gonna have to take a lesson, man. Come original.
Yes.
And then you can bling correctly.
Right.
But love.
All right, love.